Indiana Jones, Indiana. It's a podcast about Indiana Jones. Every movie, 1 minute at a time. Indiana Jones Minute.
Welcome back to the Indiana Jones Minute. This is the podcast where we discuss the film Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull 1 minute per year. My name is Tom Taylor.
Kingdom of the Crystal what now?
It looks like a skull, but it's like all shiny and you can see through it and stuff.
Okay. I'm Pete Mummert, and I actually don't remember what movie we're talking about.
Okay. You'll get back into it.
Gerald Christopher Expeditus Porter.
Whoa.
Of course, Expeditus is the patron saint who protects against procrastination.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's very special for today. Yeah. It's interesting. I looked him up, and it's one of those, you're like, which came first? Did his mom name him like little baby Expeditus? It just so happens. And then it's stuck.
It sounds like a Harry Potter spell.
It does.
It totally. I don't, maybe it's Expeditus. I don't know. He's from, I think he's from right around the year 303. And apparently this guy is quite popular on Reunion Island. Like the French island sort of in the middle.
Oh, really?
Like off the coast of, how do you pronounce that, Peter? Can we get a ruling?
Well, no.
I'm not even kidding. Apparently, he's got a big fan base on that island right off, far off the coast of Africa, kind of in the middle of, I guess, the middle of the ocean, the world.
Yeah, like the Indian Ocean or the.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, cool. Good for him and good for us because we are joined today by our old friend from the Minute Impossible podcast. Our old friend Jonathan Howell is here.
Hey.
Welcome, Jonathan.
Hey, thanks, guys.
Hey.
What year is it?
Oh, God. That's the wrong question to ask.
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah,
It depends on when you're listening to this.
Everybody
that's
just
always true,
everybody listening, just blow the dust off your podcatcher.
Yeah.
The Indiana Jones boys are back.
By the best that we can, okay, we'll just say up front, you heard our last couple of weeks episodes with the Carlyles. We were saying at that time, oh my gosh, it's been months since we recorded. Since then, it has been going on a year since we recorded those episodes. And I don't want to belabor that. There's been a pandemic. It was in all the papers. You may have read about it. And there's lots of stuff going on. We are now just getting back into it. So if we sound stupid at some points during this minute and we don't know what we're talking about, you can blame it on that or on the convoluted screenplay of this movie.
That was good, Tom.
Thank you.
Blame it on the pandemic. It makes us sound.
Yeah. So what are you going to do? Everybody
Blame it on the stupid format that we've all decided to do and are chained to for the rest of our lives.
It was out of our hands. What could we do? We brought this on ourselves. I don't want to out you, Jonathan, but you did just say off in the green room that you yourself on your own show have taken a bit of an extended break.
We took a hiatus. As of this recording, I don't know. Maybe we're back on. Go listen. Hey, if you don't listen in A Minute Impossible, go check it out. If we're all still on hiatus, go listen to our back episodes. We got 2 whole movies plus 15 minutes of the third movie. And then
sounds like a deal.
Yeah. I mean, but if you guys are just starting to record, we should be coming out at about the same time again. We may be coming off. You know what? We'll talk about this later. Maybe we can have this big. I'll make sure I come out one day before whatever you're doing.
Oh, beautiful. Okay.
But we have changed our method. We're only going to have one episode a week. It's just 3 minutes, one episode a week. We've
interesting.
I have to get away. Yes. Anything that has less scheduling.
Yes.
And even if you can't stand our guest today, our lovely guest, Christopher Ramirez, is also from Minute Impossible. And I know you all loved him. So
yeah. He was on years ago.
Check out Minute Impossible.
He was on like 2 years ago. Calm down.
Seems like only yesterday or a decade ago. It's hard to tell. All right. Now that we've gotten all that out of the way, we are here to talk about minute 58 of Crystal Skull. This is the 4th Indiana Jones movie. Is that right? Okay. Now I'm reacclimated. Okay. This minute 58 begins with a tied up Indiana Jones predicting that he's going to break Mac's nose and it ends with Mac leaving the tent as Spalko arrives.
Tommy, so the line is eventually when they're going to let me out of this chair, comrade. And when they do, he says eventually they're going to let me out of this chair, comrade.
Yeah.
And when they do, I'm going to break your nose. And Tommy, I'd like to get a ruling on this threat.
Oh, like what? Do you think he's not going to break his nose? Or
No,
like,
I'm
you
just
think
okay. So, look, is this menacing? It's a strange thing to say. Like like Indiana Jones is erecting revenge boundaries for himself.
well, I mean, he's not going to exact revenge while he's tied up in the chair. So the part about him being untied first, that seems valid. You know,
Here's what I'm at. What is
have his arms free?
What is the significance of I'm going to break your nose? Usually these types of threats are, when I get out of this chair, I'm going to kill you.
Yeah.
Or when I get out of this chair, I'm going to tell your mother. Or when I get out of this, you know what I'm saying? It's like, I'm going to kill you last. Like what he says in...
What if Mac is like just a huge connoisseur of rare wines? And like breaking his nose might really mess him up.
Oh, you won't be able to sense the bouquet.
Can you imagine Mac's muddled accent saying Pinot Noir and these other names? Like, I was drinking Pinot Noir.
A peanut Noah.
There's no reason that you'd say when I get out of this chair, I'm going to break your nose.
Well, you know,
I feel like it's of the age. Oh, sorry.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Go ahead.
It feels like it's of the time. This is what men of this time did to each other. I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to break your nose. Like, he's not going to kill him. He's not a murderer.
Or even like, I can hear like Leave It to Beaver saying, I'm going to pop you one. I'm going to bust
give
your
you
nose.
a knuckle sandwich.
Yeah.
Right now, it's
Go
like
on, smartass, and do it.
It's like a Schrodinger's threat. It is neither happened nor not happened. Like, Mac is pretty sure it's going to happen.
Isn't he like 55 or 60 years old?
Sure.
Which one? Indy or Mac?
Indy.
He's up there.
He's like 60. He's probably 60. Yeah, I think in the movie.
I was watching this and I'm like, was there a previous Mac nose joke that I missed?
I don't know. I think I'm going to break your nose. That's kind of standard, I think.
Okay,
that's
all
pretty
right.
common.
So
Yeah.
I guess I'm the one who's out of line.
It's open
Maybe they've
wrestling
broken
theory.
each other's noses before. Maybe it's a thing they do.
Well,
Yeah.
it sounds like they're setting it up for a really dumb joke. He's going to punch Mac in his face and actually break his nose. And then everybody's going to see Indiana Jones, keeps his word.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I can't stay mad at you. You broke my nose like you said you would.
Well, let me set you up for a really good joke, Jer. So in the script, this is called out, and I guess it happens in the movie, but you don't really notice it. But Mac picks up a microphone here. And then later we see he's asking about singing a song. Would this movie have been better if it were a musical?
Oh my
Yes.
God.
Well, you didn't ask me because I think you're rusty. Jonathan, what do you think about these movies? Well, let me tell you guys.
Wait, write this
The
down.
fourth one could not.
Questions.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Fourth one couldn't have been made worse by singing. It couldn't.
Yeah.
You do kind of want to see what would happen. What would it add if you added a couple songs?
There's a
and
lot of
dance numbers?
chicanery and goofery coming up for those of you that haven't seen it. There is a lot of goofery that's coming up that I'm like, I can't believe this is in the movie, but oh well, there we are. So
he does get his nose broken, doesn't he? Later in the movie, am I making that up?
No,
By
I-
Indiana Jones.
He must. You
literally
wouldn't.
no
That's
idea.
my whole point. That's my whole point of the line. You wouldn't say when we get out of here.
Oh,
It's like when I get out.
Oh.
That was my. It's like I'm gonna knock you out. I'm gonna mess you up.
I'm gonna punch you on a truck in the jungle.
Yeah,
That's what I'm gonna do.
exactly. It's just pardon the pun, but it's a little too on the nose.
Hey.
Hey, no, it is. It's just a weird thing.
That kind
to
of changes
say.
everything. I didn't know that happened.
what?
Well, I don't remember it happening,
Well,
but because he telegraphed it, you're like, oh, in like probably within the next 25 minutes, Indy is going to actually break Mac's nose, and it's going to be this feeling of relief.
So you would prefer if he had said, "I'm going to break your neck," and then later he punches him in the nose?
Or if he says like, I'm not going to forget it.
Yeah.
Just like,
I'm
yeah,
telling.
like,
But
like,
then
yeah.
you'd be upset that he didn't give him amnesia.
I mean, it's also an attainable goal. It's an attainable goal that he's given.
It
Instead
is,
of like,
yeah.
hey, Mac, when I get out of this chair, I'm going to make sure when we get to the temple that you stay there because of your own greed and get sucked into a black hole vortex.
But it's okay.
That's
You're going to be all
asking too
right.
much.
Yeah, but okay, so he's how much? So okay, I know I'm sitting on this for a long time,
You
but it's
really are, my
important.
God.
Yeah, if he's because
Long
if he's is this
A
really
long
what he wants to do to Mac? After all this stuff, Mac has double crossed him.
He's
and-
angry at him, and he wants to.
But that's what I'm saying. He
eject
did. Why
his
did he
fist
say
into
he's
his
going to
face.
kill him? He's going to kill him.
But I feel like he still likes it. Like I feel like there's still some inexplicably friendship there between, like some warm
Yeah.
feelings.
I
Yeah,
don't think that Indiana Jones feels this badly about it because he's like, Mac's getting me where I need to be.
yeah.
He is.
Yeah.
No one's been killed. He now has. His ox is now there. He now, like they've moved forward with the story.
Yeah.
So,
And you know what this is? Fever Dream. This is Han and Lando on Cloud City. You're a real hero. Like he doesn't
Oh.
want to kill Lando in that scene. He tries to punch him and he gets beaten up for it. But he's furious at his friend. He's let down. He wants to punch him, but he probably doesn't want to kill him.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what he
Literally
doesn't
or
say?
figuratively. What?
You know what he doesn't say? Yeah, that's my point. This is a weird, clunky line to say it. It's exactly the right. It's beautiful. Fever Dream and Lando, and he says like whatever. He goes pal,
Yeah.
and you're like, sure, that makes sense. This is a clunky line. It's weird.
I don't know. I didn't trip up on that at all.
Yeah,
but,
okay. Kinda disagree with you there.
Also, they need to get in. I mean, it's also the only excuse we have for Mac to then move on to what he's about to say, which is talk about, it's not only about money. It's about like a lot of money.
Yeah.
And it's not, he's not in it for the Russians. He's,
Yeah. Well, I feel like that argument he's making is an argument that Indy himself might have made during Raiders. Like when he says, "Do you think this is about flags? It's about lines on a map." Like,
yeah.
he's like, "This is about getting the loot. This is about getting the treasure." And I feel like Indy is less interesting in this movie because he couldn't have said this line in this movie. Whereas I think Indy and Raiders or Temple of Doom easily would have said this line.
Yeah, is he just a little too mature now or something? Like he's speaking in 50s colloquialisms about violence, about punching people in the nose. And
Mac
he's
is
not- and
literally
he's-
Mac is literally all about fortune and glory.
Yeah.
yeah,
And
he
there,
is.
but and now he's
Or at
like,
least fortune.
he's like, ugh. He's like, that's so pedestrian. Oh, come on.
Right.
Just
You're an
Oh, is-
American. Stand up
Is
straight.
Mac the Indiana Jones of this movie?
Oh, God.
God, he might be. That would have been cool if they did that. What if that was the movie? Like Mac was just the Indiana Jones
Yeah.
character, and Indy
From
is kind of
Raiders.
like, I don't know, Marcus or something, or like just like all old and stuffy. And cut it out, Mac. You're gonna get us in trouble. Oh, sheesh.
Mac, I know the way. Lost in his own museum once, eh? Lost in his own museum once, eh? You have to
Crikey.
change every line to be that horrible Cockney.
Conquistadors. Can we just say conquistadors?
Conquistadors.
Okay, so that was another. Pete, can we get a ruling on conquistadors?
Yeah, I'm gonna say that's a bad use of language of pronunciation.
Yeah.
Like nobody has ever like the word.
I think they
spelled
say it
like
that way in
It's not.
Britain, though. I think a lot of
Do
people
they
like,
really?
yeah, conquistadors. Yeah, I think they do.
So do people say? I
Oh.
mean, is that in other countries? Can you say conquistadors and everybody's like, that was totally fine?
Because if that's true, then maybe it is fine.
Yeah, that's
See,
what I'm
I
wondering.
feel like I've
is
heard
is
that
it like a
before as a
dialect?
Britishism.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
wondering. Is it
Yeah.
like just a dialect? Just a different.
Yeah,
I mean, just before that, he says, instead of city, he says city.
Right.
So there's nothing-
it's true.
but that's like Americans learn Cockney, and you just drop the
Yeah,
vowel, and that's how you
Yeah.
say city.
And you call women birds.
Eliza Doolittle. It's all you swallow the vowel.
Yeah.
So, but when he said conquistador, you're like, I don't know what you're doing there.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. It sounds. Yeah. But if it is a thing that like other people in other countries might say conquest, I don't know. All right.
maybe we get a ruling from Neil or
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're
somebody.
if you're one of those weird countries where they say stuff weird, let us know.
When your keys
We
on
wanna
your
hear from you.
quests.
yeah.
Yeah.
when you spend an entire season mispronouncing Denham Elliott's name.
Is it us or you? Thank you.
So, okay, so if Mac goes to Akator, it's the city of gold.
Mhm.
How do you manage selling a city of gold on the market?
I had the exact same question, and I thought I was being stupid. I always when I think we said this before, like when we were talking about the mummy on our bonus show. I don't get how you enter like an ancient ruin full of gold, piles of gold, whatever, and statues and things and everything, and you say, "I'm rich." Like, what do you do with it? What do you do with the stuff? Do you take it to a bank? And they say, well, okay, on the going rate for this, this pile
Just
of
went way
doubloons.
down because you completely devalued the market.
Exactly. Yeah, you just flooded the
That's what I
market
was
with the stuff, you dummy.
Yeah, and it's all everybody's gonna know where it's from. Like it's Peruvian gold in the shape of this type of
Right.
Well, you should
mummy
probably
or
melt
a
it down. You should
know-
probably melt it down first before you like. You think
Oh,
you
yeah.
need like take it in like all Aztec shaped and everything?
Well,
I
that's
mean,
Oh,
unless
weird.
you were
So-
taking it to like a Donovan or something, like some kind of collector who's going
Yeah.
to be sort of black market about it and not make a big deal and just give you the cash
But
money.
here's the thing: the only person you could sell it to would be Howard Hughes,
Yeah.
because he
Right,
says we're going to
yeah.
be Howard Hughes
Yeah.
rich,
Right,
and you're
yeah.
like, so there's very few people. You better hope that Howard Hughes wants a city of gold.
Yeah.
I went and looked that up because I was like, who else was a billionaire in 1950s? I got two names. I got H.L. Hunt and J. Paul Getty. They're the only two other people
Oh,
that
sure.
were billionaires at
Wow.
that time.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
And
Okay,
if you
cool.
were Howard Hughes, why would you make somebody else Howard Hughes rich? That would mean you gave up all your money. That doesn't make any sense. That's dumb. Howard Hughes. Oh, he was crazy at the end, though. Maybe he would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to use my money to buy more money.
Yeah.
Well,
It's,
just
like-
it's also very much. This is very like Spanish conquistador history. Like the Spanish came in and like the Inca had all kinds of amazing gold artifacts, and the Spanish just immediately melted it all down.
Yeah.
Like we
Oh,
lost
yeah.
so many archaeological treasures in history because they just
Mm.
immediately melted
if
everything.
you're, I guess, if you're melting it down, then okay, that makes sense. I'm just trying to imagine, like, when I guess you melt the gold to like an ingot, and you're like, I don't know,
Yeah,
you
or like a
go to like the
bar.
local jeweler, like those the place that say
Yeah.
we buy gold or whatever.
cash
you
and
bring
gold,
like
cash
a-
for gold?
Yeah.
You bring like a
Cash
big
for
mold
gold.
of like a gold bar to the place, and you're just sitting there for months at a time, just like melting all this stuff down, and then you got to lug it back.
So
into
what we're saying
town
is
and-
in this world is you win at the end of the movie instead of it doing what it does, and there's no natives. Like there's no natives. Everyone's or maybe the natives are good with it. Like you taking the money. You say you have unlimited time. How do you get the money back? Well,
Yeah.
first you have to hire people to. I mean, I guess you take enough in your bags. You have a knapsack or a backpack, and you take as
Yeah.
much as you can physically carry, and also live because you have to live. You have to get it out of the jungle. It's not
Yeah.
right.
We saw how
Right,
they
yeah.
got there. They fell down a lot of waterfalls. So
Right.
how do you get back to like are they at sea level now? Do they need to now go somewhere else? Like
Yeah.
I
Well,
can't
what
believe
you're
we
describing, though, isn't this exactly what happened with the
That's what Oriana
conquistadors
did.
they found? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oriana
yeah.
walked all the way from the mouth of the Amazon in Brazil up and over the Andes into Peru with his
Yeah.
full suit of armor.
And then the more people you bring in, there's going to be more like backstabbing and
Oh,
everything.
totally.
And more
Yeah,
from
there's
me.
no way
so,
you're
so
gonna-
many
Yeah.
Satipos. just
Yeah,
come in
somebody
and
like
try to
Daffy
murder you.
Ducks, like down,
Yeah.
gold,
Yeah,
gold, mine.
it's literally more money, more problems.
Yeah, yeah,
Like you
'Cause you're
wouldn't
not gonna be able-
last
yeah.
4 months. I mean, you get if you hire anybody, or then you have to conceal Akator.
yeah.
And by the way, the Russians are there. He
Right,
says,
see what you
"Don't
did,
worry
Matt.
about the Russians." And you're like, "Okay, so the Russians are going to be they're going to get the skull, which is what they want, and
Yeah.
they're going to see the chamber with all the gold, a city of gold. I mean, somebody's going to sniff out the city of gold, and
Right.
then they're just going to let Mac have it."
Well, they're all going to get sucked into the fifth dimension or something. So
Well,
it's
I mean, if
okay.
you remember, remember at the end. I don't want to spoil this, but remember, knowledge is gold. That's what's valuable. Ugh,
Oh,
Is that in
God,
this
is that
movie?
really what they say at
God.
the end?
that's what
oh,
they
boy.
say at the end. Yeah, get ready.
Oh, my
Wait,
God.
which
I'm always
of
so
these movies
distracted.
came
We
out
can cut this
first?
out if you don't want to talk about it right now. But this is what,
no, that's fine.
at the end of the
We need
movie, it's
material.
not a city of gold; it's a city of knowledge. Gold is the literal translation of value.
Oh.
The ingots
See, I
were the
keep-
friends we made along the way.
Yeah,
I keep getting this mixed up with National Treasure.
Oh, that's a much better movie. Let's do that one. Let's
Wait a minute. There is actually a
I haven't
bunch
seen
of
it yet.
gold though at the end. There is.
There is gold,
but
but
the city, but it might be like a town, like a town. Of
a town of gold, not as impressive.
Yeah,
Principality or something.
yeah.
It's a hamlet.
Unincorporated zone of gold.
It's a gas station of gold.
Yeah.
It's just a
But
little
still,
gas station on
it's a
your
lot of
way.
gold.
Well, then I'm just like, so if you again say you have this like 5-foot mummy or whatever at the end, or all sorts of like a gilded ostrich or something, whatever they have, and you boil it down, and you're like, oh, but like you'd have to like
Who's going to buy a gilded ostrich?
and that
Howard
the eyes
Hughes is going to buy.
Yeah.
the eyes were emeralds, so now you got to find them. They're in the vat
Yeah.
somewhere, on the stove, wherever you're
Yeah.
boiling it. Like, oh, and those were the feathers were rubies.
Yeah.
This seems like a hassle and a
You
half.
just want to be like,
Yeah.
Mac, you must have some sort of marketable skills after all your years in the field. Just go get a job. Just settle down, get
Yeah.
a job. You're not going to be Howard Hughes, but you're going to do just fine.
I'm suddenly really confused. I haven't seen either of these movies in like 15 years, but is this the same as American Treasure, where it's just a collection of gold from all over the world, like
No,
ancient cultures all over the world at the end?
no.
Oh, okay.
So it's not literally that. I'm not going to tell you what it is. You get to.
You don't tell me because I
You
don't
gotta-
want a spoiler.
Yeah,
I can't wait
gotta
to see
watch
what
it.
happens at the end of this movie.
already spoiled what knowledge is worth. But no,
I'll
it's-
forget by then.
yeah, it's much. It's not. At least they didn't do the thing that you see in like that Alien v Predator movie where the Incas were. Everyone was established because the predators actually. That's why there are all these pyramids in Egypt and pyramids in
boy.
Aztec thing, and because those pyramids were used by the predators. Like Jesus, this is stupid.
Thanks, Predators.
Thanks, predators.
I swear to
So-
God, in my mind, I've seen this movie and I know how it ends. I swear to God, I see the Mona Lisa at the end, like in a big pile of stuff. It's like the end of Citizen Kane or something.
Okay,
It's all
one,
this
we know
just
where the Mona
stuff.
Lisa is, Tom. That's not
That's right.
It's not lost.
But it's like that. It's like there's like the Venus de Milo and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like
National
piles of
Treasure is
stuff.
kind of like that. Like they have like the original scrolls from Alexandria, the Library
Yeah,
of
okay,
Alexandria.
okay,
Like they
okay.
have like the full Masons, the Freemasons knowledge that they.
Well, that
Oh,
does
okay.
sound like a good movie.
It's a great movie.
I wonder if
I don't
Indy
know.
5 is going to start with Indy in a Ferrari, like driving up to a big castle in a Ferrari.
Yeah.
Oh,
It
one of the
should.
first Ferraris, one of those 1960s Ferraris. Those would be pretty sweet, actually.
You know
watch
what?
that.
Indy says, he tells Mac after the City of Gold comment, it's blood money, all of it. And you kind of come away with, and?
Yeah.
What's that
Well-
like, Indy?
Is it
Yeah, I
blood
don't
money? The city itself is not blood money. Is it that people died for you to get there? Sure, but people died for you to get to the Ark and other
Yeah.
places. So
Yeah.
it's no bloodier than any of your other little fun trips you've been on, Indiana.
But I think this is what makes Indy less interesting, because he's now using blood money in a different way. Now it's, you sold out our, co-Americans in the CIA, or now it's like, this
Oh,
is
yeah.
more like hero Indy.
Yeah, now he's
Yeah,
patriotic Indy.
Yeah.
Patriotic Indy does not allow for, if Russians are involved, it doesn't matter what they're doing. If they
Yeah.
said at the end of this movie, we are actually going here to discover a cure for cancer, which we know is in City of Gold, he would still be like, you're going against your country, Mac.
Yeah.
It's not
right.
something you
Yeah.
should be doing.
Yeah.
They're only
Yeah.
curing Ruski cancer.
Yeah, it's only Russian cancers, not American cancers. So yeah, it's one of those things where I think that they just painted this picture early on in the movie that, with the G-men and all this stuff, that he's now Captain Patriot.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter. Like, at least, I mean, say what you will about the Nazis, it had nuance. Because
Yeah.
you had Ilsa, you had these different factions of Nazis, and in this movie, the Russians are all just Russians, just big
Yeah.
monolithic Russians, physically giant monolithic Russians, and also
Yeah.
hairstyles like Prince Valiant hairstyles.
Yeah.
So
It'd be more satisfying if all the same stuff was being said, but it was like Indy's anger was all about like, Mac, you were my friend, and you stabbed me in the back.
Yeah.
It's all blood money for you. You bum.
Yeah.
Mm.
I want to punch you in the nose.
That would have been better.
Yeah.
if they'd had zero, I know they needed. I don't know why they needed. They could have had a Russian, not
Mhm.
all Russians. I would have been fine with no Russian army people. And if this was
Yeah.
just an adventure,
Oh, yeah.
adventure farting around in the jungle, looking for gold, looking for
A
the
Russian
city of
Belloc.
gold. Also, the thing with the crystal skull, the city of gold. I'm all for that. Like Indiana Jones and the city of gold.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of ring to it.
See,
Cool.
that
Off
would
the
have been,
tongue.
yeah, that would have been fine. That would have been cool. That would have been great.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why this is. Yeah, God, they
But-
really did. It's just like when you mix like vermicelli with spaghetti and then linguine and then it's like
Throwing
big
some gnocchi.
ravioli and
Yeah.
gnocchi, and it's just there's so many different noodles in this sauce.
Well, hold on. Gnocchi is a potato. So you can't throw
Exactly,
that in
that's
there.
my
You can't throw that in
point.
with it.
That's my point.
The others I'm fine with. I don't care.
Somebody threw a potato in.
But
Or
one
if-
thing that really bothers me about this is then Mac leans in and he says, "Do the right thing," just like in Berlin, and it
Mhm.
like that's a great bit of backstory that I think in any other Indiana Jones movie we would have been like, "Oh my god, what's he talking about? I wonder what India." And in this movie, you're just like, "I don't care." Like,
What are you talking about, Mac?
don't
I haven't
care. I
followed
don't
you
care
so
at all.
far, so this is probably
Yeah.
gibberish. Yeah.
Well, wait a minute. He does wink at him.
He does now. See, that's what I don't get. Like we understand. Okay, fast forwarding again a little bit, we get later that Mac is. I don't know. This is there's a scene later where we find out Mac is not working with the Russians. That he's like a triple agent or something, and that in this moment he was trying to tell Indy, "Hey, I said like Berlin. Get it? Like we were doing the double cross. I don't know what it was, but like
Oh,
he's more on Indy's side than he's saying he is. But why isn't he just saying that? He's alone in a tent with Indiana Jones. Why doesn't he just say, "Hey, before they come back in here, I'm working this thing. I'm doing the
I'll tell you
long con,
why.
whatever."
it shocked me, but because I never noticed before. There's a guy sitting right next to them taking notes the entire time.
Really?
No, there
Oh
is,
my
there is,
God.
but I
Yeah.
don't think he's taking notes on their
I don't know
stuff.
what he's
I
like
think he's
writing
just
the Great
working,
Russian
right?
novel or something. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Could you please hold it down? Writing crime
I
and
really
punishment
don't
over
like being in the jungle while I'm writing. It's not good.
here. Yeah.
But they confuse, they really muddy it up. Because here
Yeah.
I'm supposed to, you're right. Like actually in this moment, Mac is entreating Indy to join him again.
Mhm.
Like I know all that other stuff happened. That was water under the bridge. But
Mhm.
now it's you and me. And just like in Berlin, and there's a city of gold, and you're kind of like, so is he asking? Is he partnering with Indy right now? And like the
He's
two
trying
of us
to.
will be Howard
Yeah.
Hughes rich?
And that's the problem I have with Mac in this movie. Thank you for having me on for Mac Minute, a Mac Minute, because
Yes.
I'm an agent, but actually I'm a double agent. Haha. No, wait, I'm a triple agent. And by the end of the movie, I'm like, I don't know what his motivation is.
Yeah.
I
Am I
understand
supposed
he's
to
Yeah.
care
greedy.
somehow? Yeah.
Like he's greedy. I get it. Okay, cool.
But
Is
by
he
the-
supposed to be Benny from The Mummy? Hey, another great heist movie where they get a bunch of gold out of a giant cavern.
By the way,
Yeah.
he's not this double agent, triple agent. No, I don't believe that for a second. That's nonsense.
It is
He
nonsense.
doesn't. He doesn't know what he's doing. He maybe was a spy, or he was a turncoat, or he turned his friend in. Whatever you want to say. Yeah, that happened. That's official.
He's not
and real.
working for another government. He's not working for the British and told them, I'm going to now pretend to be for the Russians and then not really be for the Russians. No one knows about this triple. You can't just triple agent
right.
yourself.
That's all I'm saying. Yeah, it's
Right.
like
But see,
no.
I think there's,
he stabbed Indy in the back. That's
Yeah,
what
but
he
he had his
did.
fingers
I
crossed.
get that. Yeah.
but I
I mean,
think
like-
there's a bigger problem. Like, I don't buy that he stabbed Indy in the back because I've never bought that he and Indy were like had a close relationship. Like that never shows up in this movie.
Other than
Yeah.
him being in the trunk with him at the beginning of the movie, you really have no reason of thinking, oh, they're best buds. Or they
Yeah,
used to
I don't
work together.
see any connect. Like there's no spark between them.
No.
There's no
There's
like
no
I don't
chemistry.
see any history or chemistry at all. Yeah.
There's no chemistry. Whereas when the second you meet Denham, whatever you call him, the second you meet him, you're-
Denholm.
yeah, Denny Denholm, you go, oh, that's one of his confidant friends. Like it just works.
Yeah.
Whereas
Yeah.
I don't think it's written well that Mac has ever been his friend. Mac swore me from the beginning, so I never trust him. So when he backstabs him, I'm like, yeah, of course he backstabs him. He's a piece
Yeah.
of trash. Yeah.
Why is it that I want this to work? Like I want to like Mac and I want him to be a good character.
That's because
Like,
you've watched 3 movies that you like
Yeah,
and are now on a 4th
I've seen
movie
things
and
work
you're
before in movies.
and
Yeah.
you're like, oh, you've got this character figured out. Oh, we don't? Okay. I guess we're doing another thing now.
There's a lot of feeling during this movie of why are they doing this? Why aren't they doing this? Like it didn't have to be like this.
And I don't think it's any one thing. It's the same thing that happens in the Star Wars movies. It's just the hubris of the director and not having a producer that will tell you no. And I think at some point this was written and no one said, this doesn't feel like Indiana Jones anymore, Steven. And he's like, well, but I like it. Can I have race cars? I mean, I guess, sure. You can have race cars. Can I have aliens? I mean, you love aliens. So sure, we can do that. I mean, it's like, I wanted them to be like, no, you can't, we can do something mystical, but it can't be understood. Right. It can't be mystical beyond weird ghosts coming out of a box. It can't be mystical past rocks that glow. It needs to be something that's tangible. Yeah. This alien thing you've gone too far.
But see, I guess that was George. And then Steven is like, and I think that's the problem is like people were saying no to each other. George and Steven and Harrison Ford were all saying no to each other about different aspects, but they all wanted to say yes about the movie. So you get this kind of muddled thing that none of the pieces quite fit into their spaces.
If Mac had been written a little better and maybe been a different character and a different actor, could that have saved the movie?
I think the actor could have done it too. I don't think it's
the actor. I like the actor.
I always blame script.
Yeah.
Except for Shia LaBeouf. Let's all be honest.
Well, I was going to say,
but I like him.
One of my notes here was, I was tough on the writing at the beginning, but my note for this scene is I actually think Mac is, this is great acting.
Mm-hmm. Huh. He could be a classic kind of 50s kind of villainous, guy you want to like, but he's a villain kind of dude.
I don't think he was given the right amount of stuff. I think he looked at the script. He's like, wait, what am I? Am I, wait, how many times do I, he's like, how many times do I have to screw over Indiana Jones? You can't have a connection because he doesn't screw him over all the time. That's the problem. To go back to the Mummy, Benny screws them every time he can. Every time. So Benny is a louse and he's a louse. So you've put him in your mind as he is a louse. Mac sometimes helps him. And they got out of they fought together in the Area 51. They fought since then. It's like, okay, so you want me to like him, but you don't want me to trust him. And that doesn't work in a movie because I only have 2.5 hours to do this. Right. So
I just met this guy and I got nothing to hang on to. Yeah.
I don't know. I like him in the scene, but they didn't give him anything to work with. And
So why is he holding a microphone? Like I'm looking now and I still don't see it, but I believe you.
Oh, he picks it up in the script. It says he picks it up and you don't really see it. But then after he says, no, not only money. And then he throws it down. You see him throw it down.
Wait. I thought that was like liquor that he threw down.
No, that was a microphone. It was like an old-timey microphone.
Why is there a microphone in there to begin? Is it to get is it so that when
I think they're recording him because there's a tape reel running, but then there's music playing too, right? Maybe they're just playing music.
Maybe. Oh, is that his drop the mic moment?
Well, the music's happening outside.
So there's a guy writing down what's happening. They're recording what's happening.
Maybe the guy's writing down the song.
Maybe. Yeah.
He's transcribing it.
He's fired right after this because he's supposed to be writing down their conversation. And he wrote down the wrong thing. It's too bad. Sure, like that.
Do we know what song they're playing out there?
You can Shazam it.
Yeah,
no,
really.
That's the guy. He's like the Russian early version of Shazam.
Yeah,
that's his name.
He's going to transcribe it, telegraph it to Moscow, see if they know what song it is, and then it'll come back in a couple of days with the answer.
Is this good golly, Miss Molly?
Come on, Eileen.
But I like that then Mac asks when Spalko comes in. He's like, "You want me to turn it off, or shall we sing a song?"
Yeah, I don't
That's
totally
true.
get that.
I don't either.
Like when
he's
he said
trying to,
holding a
like-
microphone. I was like, okay, maybe he's
Yeah,
gonna sing a song.
They didn't establish he was holding a microphone. I'm with you. I did not know that he was
Yeah.
holding it at the scene. And then he throws it down when he's like, it's not only about money.
Yeah.
He throws it down on the ground. Is he doing that so he can like pretend like he's mad? So basically, if you listen back to it, it would sound like, it's not only about the money. And, woo, and like it hits the ground. And then it's just like, then he can quietly say, it's like we did in Berlin. Like he's no longer with the microphone.
Yeah.
That would have been
Yeah.
smooth.
But then he turns
But no.
around. It's really, he turns around and says, that's right, just like we did in Berlin. And you're like, okay, he's trying to make it look like, I mean, he might as well be like, moving his right foot and whistling.
Yeah.
Right,
I mean,
nothing
it's
to
just
see here.
like,
Yeah, it's
what's
weird he
going
tells
on?
her that. Yeah. Unless he's trying and I kind of like that line though because it's a little bit threatening.
Oh, about the do we sing?
Yeah, I remember what we did in Berlin, and he's looking right at Spalko when he says that. Like I feel like he's like, we got some tricks up our sleeve too.
Or he's
Yeah.
just a bad liar. My wife, under duress, will always add too much to a lie. So it's like he just like we did in Berlin. He turns around, Spelko's standing. He's like we did in Berlin. I'm not telling them code or anything. It's not a secret
No.
code. It's like he just keeps going and going. You're like, stop talking right now. If you stop talking. You're not lying anymore. Stop.
Just walk out of the room. You're good. Yeah.
So maybe he's just a bad liar, which is funny. It would be hilarious for Mac, who is a spy, to just be a really bad liar.
I think he might be a bad liar.
It feels like
We're
he is,
totally
doesn't it?
confused by everything he does.
So, okay,
And-
look, the
yeah.
problem with Mac is you don't know, and it's not a cool fun you don't know. It's actually just that you don't know.
Yeah.
And you don't need to know. Like
Yeah.
it doesn't make
Yeah.
any difference whose side he's on at any point.
Yeah.
And so does he know now that if they get to the city of gold, he's planning on killing Indy?
I guess.
Like in his own head. See, I think he keeps like double, triple, quadruple agenting it. He's
Yeah.
just making it up. It's like he doesn't know how it's going to go, so he finds himself here. Indy's still alive, and he's like, does he have a master plan? Or is he just, he walks into the tent, he's like, okay, I need Indy, so I'll figure out how to kill him later after we get to Akator?
That's what
or is he
sucks, Jerry. That's what sucks is because he's using Indy's lines and now he's making it up as he goes along. Like he's literally the Indiana Jones of this movie. And I
We
hate
can
him.
only have one. We can only have one. You can't have slovenly drunk Indiana Jones and Indiana Jones.
Right. Maybe it's
That's a
just as
good
simple
point.
as he wants to. He's absolutely just in it for himself. He doesn't care how he gets to Akator, but he's going to get to Akator, and he's going to get as rich as Howard Hughes. And maybe he's just playing everybody. He's making sure that he has friends all over the place. Indy might be on his side. The Russians think he's working for them. Somebody's going to get him to Akator, and that's all he's doing.
Why does
I
he
don't know.
need Indy?
I don't know.
He doesn't.
I don't
He has
know.
Ox. He has Ox.
They have Ox. They have. I don't know why the
But Ox-
Russians.
Maybe
Why
because
is he
he's really the
partnering with
movie.
Indy right now?
Because he's
Is-
the only one that can translate what Ox is saying.
Right.
'Cause Ox is talking jibber jabber.
It's
right
all
now?
coming back to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Oh,
you're
is
right.
At
Didn't
this
he-
moment, Ox gets more sane as we get closer to.
Right.
So I'm
Oh,
wondering if
Marion
yeah.
mailed him that letter
Wait,
with
oh,
all
hold
the
up.
stuff in it.
Marion's
What?
in this?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Marion Ravenwood from Raiders of the Lost Ark is in this. Yeah. Yeah. But we don't know.
And
she's
also
Marion yet,
Shia
so that had to be
LaBeouf from
confusing,
Transformers is also in this movie. If you don't remember,
too. Sure.
I got a question for you, Jonathan.
Yeah.
Tech of the ep.
well, since I didn't even know there was a microphone,
The tech is that guy writing in the background. He's
Yeah.
a stenographic machine.
the tech of the ep is the chair. I think Tom originally said he was tied up. He's not actually tied up. He's more
You're right.
restrained, kind of like a la Darth Vader in the
Oh.
third one.
Yeah, it's like
Episode
clamps
3.
over his.
He's got
arms,
clamps. He's clamped.
Okay. Oh, I'd love it if he stands up. He's like, no.
Oh no, Jonesy! In your rage, you killed Marion.
No, she was alive.
Yeah. Oh my god. We've been through a lot, haven't we?
It's been
The
a
early
long
2000s
10 months.
were rough.
You know what I love? My tech is that gorgeous soft blue, that kind of teal colored glow from that dentist lamp or whatever is glowing.
Oh,
See, that's
yeah.
what I thought this was like a torture room more than a interrogation room. Well, I guess torture and interrogation kind of go.
It looks like a dental office.
Well,
It
is
does,
it
it
safe?
does.
Is
Yeah.
it safe? It's got kind of that vibe. If you're gonna torture
Yeah.
somebody, go for their teeth.
Is it
Yeah.
safe like in Berlin, or is it safe like in Berlin? Get it? I don't.
I don't.
Well, do we have anything else for minute 58 of Crystal Skull?
We couldn't
That's what we say towards the
possibly.
end, right?
What?
Wait
What's
a
happening?
minute.
Something
Wait a
wrong
minute.
with
What's
our
going on?
recording
Is it-
equipment.
Isn't that like isn't she upgraded to a fax or like a?
No,
Yeah,
no,
come on.
no. Just hunker down. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been like 40 years.
It
It has.
needs to step it up.
This just in from Professor Christy Porter. Let's see. What percent of the time has Indy done the right thing?
Wow.
In this movie or in his life?
In his life.
Percent.
Yeah, you say, would you say
22%? Is that right?
22% of the time Indy does the right thing? Do you think he's like maybe like an 80% right time guy?
I mean, you got to define what the right thing is. Like, according to whom, and like, is
Well, like you did in
is
Berlin.
his job even the right thing? Is his, being a grave robber, is that a right thing, or is it,
Yeah, because I mean, he basically
Oh.
stole from a currently active church.
Yeah,
Raiders of the Lost
right?
Ark.
You kind of
Like he stole
decimated
like their idol.
civilization. Yeah.
I mean, he's like lawful chaotic, if that's a thing.
But
He's like
he
he believes in morals, but at any point he may destroy the place that he is morally trying to keep around.
yeah,
But he
So-
did turn around in Temple of Doom. He was about to leave, and he turned around
Yeah.
in Temple of Doom, and he threw a rock at the big, the big fat roach guy.
yeah.
And then he liberated
He-
all the kids.
He could have left without liberating those kids.
yeah, and he
easily
thought
could
about
have.
it. That's what I love.
Yeah. Oh, he was trying to save Pat Roach at that one point too. On the
That's right.
That's true.
I like
Was
that
that
you
the
call
right
him
thing?
Pat Roach. Yeah, Pat Roach. You know, everybody wants to save Pat Roach. I don't want to save that guy.
Sometimes
That
you're going to kill Pat Roach.
giant turban-headed, monstrosity. I have one question before you go.
Oh, sure.
Since there's been a lot of turncoat stuff in this episode, I was thinking you guys use your well, one, this also doesn't base any knowledge on this movie. It's on previous movies, so you guys should be fine. In the first movie, he gets betrayed by Satipo.
Yeah.
Satipo.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Satipo. In the third movie, it's Ilsa. In this movie, it's
Yeah.
Mac. Who betrays him in Temple of Doom? I was trying to think of it. And other than like the main guy who works for the Raja,
yeah, does Chatterlaw kind of betray him?
yeah, is Chatterlaw on the sauce at that point, or is he evil no matter what? Like,
No,
That's
you
where I
know,
was with this.
I'll tell you who betrays him. At the beginning, the guy who has the plane.
Oh yeah, Lao She.
Lao Che.
Lao Che.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lao Che.
okay,
But can you
Yeah.
be betrayed by somebody you're already not trusting?
yeah.
Like, he never, like, Lao Che was never on his, I mean, he was making a deal with him, I guess.
I
That's
mean,
true.
truthfully, I like Lao She better than I do Mac. I wish Lao She was the one going.
No,
How
sure.
great would this movie be?
Oh my
if
God.
Lao She
Oh, yeah.
came back and was now his friend.
Yeah, that would be
That's
great.
true. That's true.
Yeah.
But
Water under the bridge, Dr. Jones.
I'm just trying to think, yeah,
We had
who
fun.
actually betrays him? And I don't remember there being a betrayal because there's always a betrayal.
What's interesting
Yeah.
is
He's
he
the
kinda-
That's why
betrayer.
Temple of Doom is
Yeah,
weird.
he's the
He
betrayer.
betrays Shorty.
Yeah.
He does.
Someone betrayed
Smacks him.
Shiva, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, that's,
Yeah.
that's right.
Yeah.
That movie saved all the betrayal for Shiva.
He was going to betray Willie too. He was lowering her to her death.
But that's again on the sauce. I mean, non-sauce. I
Yeah.
mean, non
Yeah.
like of your
Yeah.
own free will. Do you take Mola Ram or whatever? Do you take what are they? Kali Ma. Do you
Yeah.
praise Kali Ma and all that she stands for? He stands for.
I do.
I do.
Thinking about that whole thing again, I would say that. So Shorty comes up and he like burns Indy with the torch, but what he really does is he says, "Indy, I love you."
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
And that is something, I don't know if Indy's ever really heard somebody say that the way that he, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
he
That's
has
what
all
Mac
his
is doing
defenses
by
up.
betraying him. by constantly betraying him, Mac is pledging his undying love for Indiana Jones.
Yeah. And then he doesn't know how to take that. He wants to punch him in the nose.
His figurative,
Can't handle
his figurative torch being pushed at him all the time.
Right. It burns, Mac. It burns. Stop it.
You'd have to deal with people.
Yeah. Well, all right. Jonathan, thank you
What?
so much for joining us and for easing us back into what we like to call recording a podcast. We talked about your show at the top of the show, but what Minute Impossible.
That's okay.
Where
Yeah,
you guys are covering where can people find the show? Because it's awesome.
It's Minute Impossible, minuteimpossible.com. We do the Mission Impossible movies 1 minute at a time. Did the first movie. It was awesome. So much fun. Second movie, even better. Loved it. Right now, we're slogging through the J.J. Abrams version of the third movie. And
that's what you do with J.J. Abrams movies. Sorry.
It put us on hiatus. It broke us, but we're coming back. We're coming back to kind of like Star Wars Minute, where, you have to accent the positives and find the things you liked, find the small nuggets of that you truly love about the movie. And we're doing that now. And so by the time your episodes come out, ours will probably be back on. So please go listen to us. And if you have another Mission Impossible podcast you listen to, that's fine. We probably had them on as guests. So come listen. And a
community.
Yep. You can find us on Facebook at the Impossible Minute Force.
I have a question suddenly.
What?
I was on season 2 and I have only seen movie 2 of the Mission Impossible series.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to make sure I want to check for understanding. That was the good one.
Okay. It is a good one when you think about how John Woo never was not John Woo in that movie. That movie is very John Woo. It's ridiculous and fun. This third one takes itself too seriously, and a TV director who's never directed a movie before is directing it. So there are some pacing issues that we did not see before. And originally I was like, I thought 2 was the worst. And I'm now thinking 3 is the worst. My memory said 3 was not the worst.
Watching these movies in such an unnatural way will do that to your appreciation of them.
But please come,
It's all out of way.
Please come listen. And if you guys want to be on, we now have a new segment where we do Fan Fiction Friday, where we read fan fiction that people have written about Mission Impossible. And it's amazingly hilarious.
Awesome.
Oh, man. I love that.
I would love to do that.
Yeah, please do. It's so much fun.
Well, we have had fun with you. Everyone out there, I hope you have had fun with us. Please, if you cannot stand to not be contacted with us for the next week, please find us on Facebook you can join us at the Indiana Jones Minute and the Listeners Crusade. That's our Facebook group over there. You can find us on Twitter, Indiana Jones Min. Is that what it is?
I don't know.
It's been a long time.
We have a Twitter.
Indiana Jones Min. And also, or you can just find us at our website, indianajonesminute.com. And we'll be back next week with minute 59 of Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull here on the Indiana Jones Minute.
We're no longer postponed.